You're still watching your favorite magazine show, the FA Show, right here with me, Adelani Folashayo Grenade and SC Khadebe. This is the part of the show we give you the answer to our earlier trivia question. I wanted to know if you know, when was the last time 3 South African teams qualified for the semi-finals of the CAF Inter-Club competitions? SC, you have the answer to that.
Yeah, I definitely have the answer. Great time for South Africa. This is the first time this is happening. It hasn't happened before. So I think the South African football, it's in a good space.
Yes, speaking of South African football being in a good space, Stellies did the unthinkable against Zamalek. Coach Steve Barker definitely deserves his flowers.
Yeah, he needs a round of applause, man, and a standing ovation. Beating Zamalek in their own backyard, not an easy feat to do, A coach has really put himself and his players through the paces, and you look at the first leg, I think they also should have won the first leg in terms of the number of goals they created, Looking at the final third and the box entries they had, it sent a message to say, let's see what happens when we go to Zamalek. For me, I thought Zamalek would work out because they are the defending champions. They've been running riot.
14-time champions in their local league.
Exactly. It's not a fluke, when you see this team there. But it's something else.
But I'm thinking, could the absence of Zizo have affected the team? Because that's the creative engine room of the team, and we're hearing some rumors that Zizo has signed a pre-contract with our athlete. It was signed back on the 14th of March. And these are just speculations, by the way.
Speculation, it is speculation. Let's leave it there, because for me, I don't think we can get in a conversation where we don't have the nitty-gritty of it. Yes. I think to answer your question in terms of Zizo, it's possible, because players have such influence. You look at one player can literally win a match for a whole entire team. Mm-hmm. So probably that did give them a bit of something off. But then again, for me, I look at that conversation, I say, let's not disrespect Stellies. 11 players against one player, it's impossible. I think Stellies put their foot down and they went out. Playing away and winning a game, it's not an easy feat to do.
Well done to Coach Steve Barker, considering the fact that he's missing 2 of his most dangerous players, arguably, that moved on this season, and they could still get to the semi-finals of the Confederation Cup. Now let's talk about SC's other favorite team. He has Real Madrid, he has Mamelodi Sundowns, he has Simba. These are some of his beloved teams. Fadlu Davids again flying the flag high for South African football.
Yeah, you're rightly so in terms of saying those are the teams that I enjoy watching. You look at the type of football they play. But then going back to Fadlu Davids, even in his playing days, was one of my favorite players. He didn't wear the number 10 jersey for nothing. He comes into the Simba team. He brings his tactical prowess. I say tactical prowess, you look at the game they played against Masry. I said it the past week when we had this conversation that at home they will go through, and they literally did that, scoring 2 goals. And they just went on to make sure that they book their next step into the next phase of the tournament. And
unbelievable. They've never done so before, by the way.
Exactly. This is history making for them. And it is history making also for a South African, to get into the Tanzanian league and to
So what was different this time?
The difference here was having a team that is tactically astute, a team that is well aware in terms of what they need to do. Yeah. You look at in terms of the numbers alone, you look at the ball possession they had, Masry had 27% of the ball versus 84%. And that sends a message to say this is a ball-playing team. And once you have a ball-playing team that's playing in your final third the whole entire time, you're bound to lose the match.
It's not only Stellies, it's not only Fadlu Davids, also Amajimbo's, the under-17 team, is flying the flag high for South African football in the under-17 AFCON tournament. It's incredible what they're doing.
Amazing stuff that we are seeing from South Africans currently. I think the football that in the Southern Hemisphere, they need to be proud in terms of what South African teams are doing in these inter-club competitions. They're just going a step higher, and then you take it back into the cups that they're playing in terms of the Nations Cups and the qualifiers. The teams have been just on a trajectory, and it's amazing to see such things.
All right, let me confirm the 8 teams that have booked their spots in Qatar is Burkina Faso, Zambia, Morocco, South Africa, Ivory Coast, Senegal, Tunisia, and Mali. And There are 2 more teams still waiting to qualify for Qatar to book their tickets, and we're going to get into SC's superpowers of predicting scorelines. He's very good at this, by the way. Uganda versus Gambia is going to be playing later today, and also Angola versus Egypt. SC, can you give us your predictions for those games?
Let's start with the Angola versus Egypt game. I think Egypt will edge Angola in this one. Why I say that? The players that are playing in the Egyptian team, well-astute players, well-developed players. Not saying the Angolan team is not well-developed, but in terms of the pedigree of the teams they are in, it sends a message. You look at Al-Ahli, you look at Zamalek. Those are 2 teams that we constantly talk about on the show. Going to the Uganda and the Gambia game, I think Uganda might just pull something out of the head here, but this game will go to penalties.
Go to penalties, so the score lines, quickly.
Score lines, you're looking at a 0-0.
0-0, and then penalties.
Then penalties.
All right, remember that SC said that. He can't change his words on next week's show. Thank you so much for joining us. It has been great talking to you.
It's been a great pleasure to be here, Ade.
As the semi-finals of the CAF Inter-Club competitions get closer, supporters of the elite last 4 are starting to dream of continental glory. Let's hope your team has what it takes. Before I love you and leave you, I have to give my flowers to Alice Nokomatlo, who has flown the flag high for South African football for 17 years and made 174 appearances. There will never be another. To the viewers watching at home, you have to watch the FA show next week because we have a brand new segment just for your viewing pleasure. From me and the crew behind the scenes, Ninitanda Nonke Gakulu.